Everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is November the 11th of 2024, and it's Veterans Day. All right, and we'll be talking about BYU football, and that's coming up right after this. To Just Justin. I am Justin, and yes, we'll be talking about BYU and Utah football game. But first, to all the veterans out there who've gone and served in our military, we do appreciate you. I appreciate you and everything you've done for this country. So keep up the good work, and thank you. All right, so let's jump into the game. BYU and Utah, the Holy War. Okay, a lot of people might not know what the Holy War is. You know, some people I've heard had to go look it up and see what it was and stuff like that. But it is between BYU and Utah, the Holy War. So let's get into the game. Okay, so let's just start off with the Holy War. Okay, for the last 9 years, well, 10 years, BYU has lost to Utah 9 times. Okay, last time BYU beat Utah was September the 11th of 2021. BYU beat them by the score of 26-17. All right, so yes, Utah had beat us from the year 2010 all the way up until 2019. Okay, so yeah, in 2021, BYU beat Utah. So this year, Utah comes into the Big 12. Okay, so Utah was in the Pac-12, BYU was independent. So they didn't meet a lot of those years. But, so back in the Big 12, it is a Holy War now. The Holy War is back on schedule. However, Big 12 commissioner, if you're looking at this, watching this, move the game to the last game of the season. That's all, okay? Move the Holy War to the last game of the season. That's all I'm asking. Get it back to what it used to be. All right. So a couple weeks ago on the UCF, I had a blog post out there over at justinjenkins.info, and it talked about. I had 2 questions actually. Let's bring those 2 questions up. These are the 2 questions I posed on my blog. Okay. Will Utah step up and have a good game? Will the Cougars just crush the Utes? Okay, so we're going to be talking about those 2 questions here, okay? Because BYU comes in to this game 9-0, where everyone thought BYU would be a 5-7 team, okay? Barely winning 5 games all season, okay? And they had Utah picked number 1. You know, they should have been, Big 12 champions and stuff like that. Utah should be at 9-1 right now, or 9-0 right now after they just crushed BYU. But that's how it seemed. Because Utah is a good team, but coming into this game, Utah's been struggling. All right, they've lost 4 conference games. All right, so they had a bye week last week. BYU had a bye week as well. So did Utah prepare for BYU? Yes, BYU was not prepared. Utah was. All right, so the games came in. We started the game. Yes, BYU scored 3 points in that first quarter. Okay, all right. So, the first quarter, BYU scored 3 points. They kicked a field goal. All right, so, it was a good defensive battle between BYU's defense and Utah's defense. However, in the second quarter, something happened to the BYU offense and to the BYU defense, okay? So, BYU's defense allowed 21 points in that second quarter. And I was like, what the heck is going on, BYU? Did you not even prepare for this game? It seems like, they had your number, BYU. You're going to get crushed. What the heck? But Bernard did not get a rushing touchdown, okay? So, 21 points by Utah. However, so Utah kicked off the ball, and it went to Merriam, and Merriam ran it back for a touchdown. So another touchdown run on a kickoff. Okay, so that puts BYU at 10 and Utah at 7. Okay, but after that, it was all Utah. Okay, Utah came back and they scored 14 points. Boom, 21-10 going to halftime. All right, so coming out of halftime, would BYU adjust their defense to stop the Utah attack? And would the offense show up and play? All right, so yes, the defense did come out, stop the Utah attack. Utah did not score another point that whole entire half. Okay, third and fourth quarter, they did not score a point against BYU. So yeah, BYU came down and they kicked a field goal. All right, to make it 13-21. All right, and then BYU did come down and they scored a touchdown, and they went for 2 points to tie the game up at 21. However, it did not count. It did not happen. Utah intercepted it in the end zone. So there's that. So BYU 19, Utah 21. So all BYU had to do was score a touchdown. But it was a back and forth battle. The offense really did not score that much. All right? BYU, unfortunately, did not come to play. All right? Utah did come to play. They had a point to make that they are better than BYU, that they are better than their conference record so far of 1-4. Okay? 1-4 on the year when they were supposed to dominate the whole entire Big 12. Okay? So yes, Utah came and stepped up and came prepared. BYU did not come prepared. Utah studied that offense and shut down the run. They were, it was just horrible. The BYU's quarterback had a proficient rating of like 30-something. All right, Utah's quarterback, first time starting, I think, Rose or something like that, because their all-star Cam Rising, the 10th year quarterback is out injured again. And Isaac Wilson, well, he didn't start. So now it was on this other Rose character. So Rose had a higher rating than Jake, okay, Reskoff from BYU. Okay, he was really super good. He wanted to win this game. BYU, yes, they did win it 22-21. They came down the field in the fourth quarter with time running out and kicked a field goal. All right, so BYU did win, okay? I was worried about it. I, was like, yes, let's go BYU. Let's just demolish Utah because I don't like Utah. I don't want to say the word hate. I just dislike Utah. I'm friends with a lot of Utah fans, and they're fine. They're cool, man, and stuff like that. They don't like me. I don't like them when it comes to football, but we're still friends, right? I just don't like Utah football. All right, so anyway, in the fourth quarter, Utah almost had the game won. Okay, they had BYU pinned down under their 5. And it was fourth down. And they hiked the ball, Jake ran back, and he was going to throw it, but we had one timeout remaining, and Kalani Sitaki was trying to call that timeout. But the crowd was so loud that they didn't hear it whistle dead. All right, so that saved BYU right there. And then they went down. Utah, of course, after that timeout, Utah got in and sacked Jake at the 1-yard line. However, the Utah defensive back was holding a receiver. That's why Jake got sacked, because the receiver he was going to was not open because the Utah had him wrapped up. Now, a lot of people are going to complain, well, that wasn't a hold, that wasn't a hold, that wasn't a hold. But you know what? It was a hold. We saw it on TV. It was a hold. They had him wrapped up. Even over on the Locked On Big 12 podcast, I'll link that down here in the bottom. They even said that. He was there. Jake was there. Okay? He was there in the student section. He clearly saw the hold. All right, so BYU came down the field. And they kicked a field goal to win it, 22-21. All right, during the kickoff, return. Utah got it, and they were laddering it back and forth, okay? At that moment, during that laddering, of course, they fumbled it, and BYU got it back to end the game. But Utah got a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct because during that run back, the Utah athletic director walked onto the field and was yelling at the refs. Okay, what class is that? Okay, yeah, that does not happen in college football. Maybe high school, maybe peewee, but not college football. Okay, anyway, BYU came off with that, and then the AD, after in his presser, this is what he said.
For 12 years, this game was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in the Big 12, but tonight I am not. We won this game, someone else stole it from us. Very disappointed. I will talk to the commissioner. This was not fair to our team. I'm disgusted by the professionalism of the officiating crew tonight.
So, yes, he said the game was stolen from him. No, it was not stolen from you. Yes, I am a BYU fan, and I'm glad BYU beat Utah. But number one, BYU held Utah to 0 points in that second half. 0 points in that second half. BYU went down the field after a holding penalty, advanced the ball. They went down. The BYU offense went down and kicked a field goal. Did the refs step up and let the BYU player catch the ball? Chase Roberts catch it downfield? No. Did the refs step in and block the Utah defensive side to stop the running back from running? No. Did the refs push out the Utah players so they couldn't block the field goal? No, they didn't. The game was not stolen from you. There was that obvious face mask penalty in the first half where it clearly wasn't the face mask. It was right here. It was not up here. It was right here. And that was called on BYU. Did Kalani Sitake run out and say that's a stolen, No, he didn't. That's the facts of the game. The Utah athletic director has just embarrassed the University of Utah. Okay? Like over on Locked On Big 12. They said that we saved Utah to come to the Big 12 instead of being in the Pac-2, like Oregon State and Washington State. And Utah's fans, okay, not all of them, but some Utah's fans have claimed that this is just a stepping stone for them to get into a better league. Go. Utah, go. Go to the Big Ten. Go to the SEC. Heck, go to the ACC. I don't care. You have come into the Big 12 and you have only won one conference game. Okay? Yes, you had the chance to beat BYU on Saturday. But the penalty that you say was stolen from you, that caused the difference in the fourth quarter. BYU went down and they kicked a field goal. And then have your AD come onto the field during the run back and yell at the refs. You know what would have been funny? Is if Utah went down and scored on that kickoff returned. And then have the score nullified because the AD walked out onto the field and was yelling at the ref. That would have been so funny. Yes, the AD apologized later yesterday. On Sunday, he apologized, but he was also fined $40,000. Okay? So, yeah, the BYU-Utah game was a good game. I, unfortunately, was not there. I was in Vegas. We went to the Foreigner concert down there. And so, yeah. But we did watch the BYU game, and it was a good one. Okay, I wish I was there. I was planning on going, but then we're like, oh, yeah, we got Foreigner that weekend. We're going to go to Vegas and spend a couple days there. Okay? So, yes, BYU, Utah. I know that there wasn't really a recap, but Utah came prepared to beat BYU. BYU was not prepared to beat Utah, but BYU squeezed out a victory. No matter how you look at it, oh, this game was stolen. Oh, BYU earned it. BYU won. The scoreboard was 22-21. Okay, the refs do not still games, well, unless you're the Chiefs. Then the refs will still games for you, so you can win. Woo! But the Chiefs are in the NFL, not in college. Yes, that is my rant about Utah. Okay, the BYU-Utah rivalry is strong. All right, and I'm hoping that the Big 12 other teams realize how bad the fan base at Utah is. Ooh. But anyway, that is beside the point. So yeah, BYU beats Utah to remain undefeated in college football at 9-0. Utah, they lost the 5th conference game. All right, so now they're 4-5. Now, next week, BYU takes on Kansas at LaVell Edwards Stadium. All right, so Kansas is on a roll. Okay, they are going to be a team to contend with, I guess that's the word. They can come in and destroy BYU. But BYU's got to toughen it up this week and get practice in there and get going and practice hard. It is another late night, 8:15 Mountain Standard Time on ESPN. 9:15 Central Time, 10:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific Time. All right, so yes, BYU, Utah, Holy War was won by BYU. It was a good game. It was a close game. Utah came out prepared. BYU didn't. And so that is what I have to say about that today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it to help push out the video to more people who might be interested in the Holy War, the Big 12, BYU, and stuff like that. I would really appreciate it. Oh, and hit that subscribe button down below. And hit that bell notification if you want to get notified for any videos I upload. So, yes, next week, Kansas is at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Sorry, guys, until the next video, I will see you later. And remember, go Cougs, keep on fighting, and don't storm on the field during a run back.